Hello and welcome to Beyond Games, the YouTube channel all about what's next for gaming. I'm John Jordan. So in the video today we're looking at Pentakill. Pentakill is the in-game band for League of Legends. So this has actually been around for a while. Pentakill is made up of characters in League of Legends, obviously massive MOBA game, and they came up with this idea of having basically a heavy metal band in the game. They've actually been away for a number of years and they've just sort of come back and released a new album. And kind of what we see here is this was when the album launched, and as we're getting used to now, there was a sort of interactive experience. So we've kind of seen this in things like Fortnite and Roblox, where real life musicians are put into the game experience. In this case, it's sort of a bit different because there are real life musicians behind the band, but they are virtual characters, and in a sense that's sort of one step beyond what we're seeing in Fortnite, although I'm sure in time we'll see sort of avatars becoming famous musicians from things like Fortnite and Roblox and other things. But it is very interesting to kind of see. We can see here, this is Riot Games and The Mill is a famous sort of CGI company, so they've been obviously making all the 3D imagery and all the sort of doing all the camera angles and working out all that, how that works. So let's just have I'll just quickly run this. I'll keep the sound down, but it is also a fascinating way to show how games have sort of grown and evolved and morphed into other sort of entertainment industries. So, I think it wouldn't be that long ago where it wouldn't be taken very seriously. It would be a gimmick to sort of have in-game characters being a band. I mean, I guess we've had stuff sort of like Gorillaz, Damon Albarn. It's not a game, but we've had that sort of stuff kind of happening. But this is sort of on a sort of slightly different level, and I don't know whether this is taken seriously or not, because heavy metal is obviously inherently funny, but. So maybe it's just me laughing at heavy metal, but the spectacle of this is quite impressive. Let's listen to some of the music actually. Okay, I'm not a big heavy metal fan, so enough of that. But it's interesting. I think even if you're not sort of interested in heavy metal, if you're just interested in the game and the game community, and you can imagine people just turning up. I mean, the whole thing's like an hour long. We'll get to some interactive bits if I sort of scroll through. It's all this kind of stuff going on, as it tends to happen in these sort of things. They are sort of basic sort of storylines, and it's not just about the music. Let's see if I can find some of the stuff. You get these little sequences where you can see this stuff going on here, like a different members of the audience sort of interact in some ways, and then there's these voting. Here we go. So you have these voting situations where you can see here they're split into three different kind of basically sort of teams. It's very basic sort of stuff, but they're voting away to effectively sort of interact with the stream and what's going on. So it's not the most impressive sort of interaction, as you can see. That it's pretty close. I guess we want it to be pretty close while people are interacting, but we can kind of see, I guess, in another way, this sort of shows a different level of gaming. It's not anything like kind of League of Legends. Clearly, a very kind of sort of hardcore kind of team-based kind of shooting game or kind of combat game. But you can kind of see when you get these sort of very kind of more like streaming kind of experiences where there is game elements in there. So you're sort of layering on many different technologies into this sort of game world. And, is this metaverse? And clearly not, but we can start to see some sort of metaverse elements to this where the game characters exist beyond the game sort of spreads around. There are sort of, obviously with League of Legends, we have various different sort of mobile games now released using the same sort of universe, and it's all sort of pretty interesting and exciting. So what was that going on there? So we have you can see here they have every so often they have a leaderboard to kind of show which of the different sort of teams are winning. So this is sort of halfway through, so we see the scores. But it's kind of really interesting if you don't sort of like the music, if you sort of go through and there's this kind of crazy stuff going on where they end up walking around on the shoulders of this big sort of monster sort of. So here they're actually walking. This stage is actually this giant guy walking around. Obviously, in these big sort of music events, we always have massive big. I mean, here's nice. We can see the motion capture. So this is the actor who's being motion captured for this baddie guy. So all really interesting, and I'm sure we're going to see much more of this, and it's going to be a way of sort of drawing fans from games into deeper experiences, which are not necessarily anything directly to do with the game, but the game's sort of, I think at this stage for a lot of games, it's sort of the glue that hold things together, but it's not actually the most relevant bit of it. Certainly in League of Legends, most people, I'm not very good at League of Legends. I'm not good enough to even play it really. Whereas people can interact with the game and enjoy the game world in other ways. So there we go. We will leave Pentakill with their album launch. I think it's pretty interesting stuff. Even if I'm not going to be putting this on to listen to tonight. But thanks for watching the video. This is Beyond Games, where we're looking at games and how they're changing and how technology is kind of sort of evolving as well. Gaming technology is becoming kind of ubiquitous really across the media landscape. So please subscribe to the channel. Thanks for watching, and see you again soon.